Hey, welcome everybody. This is the Dynamite recap show. We are the Mob Squad Elite, the Elite Mob podcast. Here we got AEW Grand Slam Mexico recap and review. Uh, Hell of a show, hell of attendance record set over in Mexico with AEW for the first time ever. Uh, Ratings were real good for last night. The show was real good. Sold out arena. AEW did really good. Let's go over the show a little bit. Um,
Really?
first off, we started off hot with the Hangman Adam Page coming out, and none of us expected him to speak Spanish like that. To come out and do his whole promo in Spanish, that was real cool. I was able to understand at least half of it, but the other half I was kind of itchy on. But it was still pretty cool to see, and I'm really glad that AEW did that with being in Mexico and everything. You know, their attendants they all speak Spanish, so that's really cool for AEW to do that. Um, so then, right after you have any thoughts about the promo, man?
I won't get deep into it. Definitely caught me off guard. I loved it. Thought it was amazing. I'm sure everybody out there appreciated it. I did see a report. I believe it came from Fightful. I think they were saying that um the fans absolutely loved it out there, and now there's a lot of people requesting to actually have him back out there. I could
Oh
see
well,
why. It's
yeah.
good to definitely pay homage like that. And I don't
Yes.
think many people knew that he was
No,
gonna, or he
no,
even
I don't
could
think
do that.
anybody did. Right, except
Yeah,
for the people that were there, maybe and backstage and stuff. But
yeah,
us fans, I don't think we had any clue, bro.
yeah. It was good to see. I put it up there along the level of how I was blown away when like Omega did the promo in Japanese. Or there's only been a few times where you see someone be able to go out and do that. And I loved it. It was a super like a good touch to everything that had going on.
It definitely was. All right, then right after that promo, we jump into the 14-man tag match, which was it's big match. A lot of people. For me, the match did drag a little bit. Uh, no, of course you got the heels end up winning. You had or no, the faces won. Bandito, Atlantis Jr., Templario, Brody King, Daniel Garcia, Adam Cole. They won against pretty much the whole Don Callis family plus Dax Hardwood, um, and a guy
Vol-
named Volador. Volador.
Volador Jr. Yeah,
Volador. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, so, and I just want to start off by saying it seems like Okada is officially part of the Don Callis family as well. The announcers spoke about it during this first match. So,
Yeah.
because I know people were complaining about that afterwards, like, "Oh, is he actually part of the family or whatever?" Some dummies were complaining about it, so they just gave us confirmation that yeah, Okada's working with the Don Callis family. So,
Yeah.
uh, but the match overall was pretty fun. Just dragged a little bit too long. I think 14 men are a little too much, but like you were telling me earlier, that's kind of how Mexico does it. So, what what are your opinions on this matchup?
Um, I know that big matchups like that, they're done more frequently out there. I would say, um, did drag a little bit. Not against it because it was a good way to get a lot of people on the show at once. For my taste personally, I might have rather had like a battle royal or something with just all of the
Right.
people in it.
Yeah.
Um, but the match, I mean, for what they wanted it to do, it wasn't a bad match. Um, I do like the fact that Hechicero was actually like officially they were saying a part of the Don Callis family. As far as Okada, it's tough for me to see this working because they have so much in the family.
Yeah.
Um, it's time to turn some people on Don Callis at this point. Like
Maybe. Yeah.
If
Good.
Okada's gonna be part of the family, um, even Brian Cage I know is out uh, shooting something now. I think he's
Yeah.
you
He's
know
some movie with Steven Spielberg. There's
couple of
supposed there's a scene with some wrestlers, and it's Lance Archer and Brian Cage filming this scene, and Chavo Guerrero
Yeah,
plays the ref.
Chavo. That
Yeah,
was that was who I was trying to remember who the third
and
person was.
I got Chavo's autograph right here above my finger on the wall.
Chavo's an absolute
Yeah,
legend.
yeah,
Whole
he's awesome.
family. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love Chavo too.
yeah.
Um, but so I don't got a problem back on topic with Okada being with them. I just think it's time to unload. Like maybe you don't bring Brian Cage back to them and you have a couple people walk out on the family because it's getting to the point like they're gonna forget the Death Riders. They're gonna need AEW and the Death Riders to join to take
That's
on
what I
Don
was thinking,
Callis
bro.
when they're
It's
done.
like
Like
maybe after All In, John Moxley turns back to good or something, you know?
something got to give at this point, right?
All right.
But I don't ever. I like the match, and I don't have a problem at all with what's going on with Okada. It's just the one unique variable I guess I'm looking at is how did he end up with Callis and the Young Bucks are with Moxley?
Mm,
You know, so
yeah, right.
there's a few dynamics I just need a little bit more explaining. But I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
intrigued.
I'm
I
on
think
board with it.
yeah, I'm on the basically yeah, I'm on board with it.
One thing I did want to point out was the fans were in that 14-man tag match. Most of the fans were booing like Atlantis and Atlantis Junior, but they were cheering for the bad luchadors, you know, like the heel luchadors.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because for some reason, all right, so Atlantis Senior is like he's over with the crowd. If you see him come out in Arena Mexico by himself or in just out there in general, he's over. His son, he's like one of those. I don't know if he's necessarily a face, but he gets booed. That
Yeah,
booing was for him. But
right.
that's not anything new. He's like and don't in no way in form am I comparing these two people, but just in kind of like comparison. It's like when Roman Reigns was a face, but he was getting booed. Like
Okay.
I mean Atlantis Jr. kind of that's how it is for him out there. He's a
Oh
face.
well,
He does get
because I mean he's the son of a famous wrestler, so it's like a Dominic Mysterio kind of.
yeah. So
People boo the hell out of him. But,
exactly. So
yeah,
if you would have seen Atlantis come out by himself, you wouldn't have had that booze going through the crowd, you know?
gotcha. All right. Um, let's go move on to the video package we got after the match.
Yep.
We got the another Kenny Omega versus Okada video package. It wasn't as long as the last one. It was looked like all new footage to me. Looked all brand new, and that kind of showed what happened last week with Kenny on the stretcher and puking up that whatever he was eating because that shit ain't blood, bro. It looked kind of okay, but
Well, I'm
just
happy it wasn't blood, so it
yeah.
is what
Oh
it is.
no, yeah, for real. And then I know this is a little bit off topic, but uh, I just seen Harley Cameron post a video. So that spot in the match with the stairs or steps or whatever, she
With
really
her?
did break. She really did break her nose. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. She posted like pictures and stuff, and she's like bruised right here. She's got like a cast, a nose cast. You know.
Or
And
you think she's just playing into it, kayfabe?
maybe. Yeah.
Hopefully, I hope
Could
she's
be.
all right. I one other thing I forgot to say before we go too far ahead.
Yeah.
Did you see the Hurricane Rana by Brody?
Yes. That
Yeah,
was cool.
yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like that needed its own second to breathe. That was pretty cool to see that.
Yeah. He used to do luchador stuff, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
yeah.
So he's got. He needs to do more of that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him do some impressive stuff, but it's been a while. It was good to see.
Yeah. See a big guy like that do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
Uh, but yeah, we had the cool video package, and then after that, you had Okada versus Briscoe, which
Mhm.
one of my favorite matches of the whole night. You had Don Callis on commentary. Uh, really good match for a good solid about 20 minutes, and then of course Okada picks up the win. I had no doubt that he would.
Yeah,
Um,
can't lose going into this
yeah,
match. No
and
way.
then afterwards Okada hits Briscoe with the championship after the bell rings and all that. So what
Mhm.
about the match and stuff that afterwards? What'd you think?
Match of the night contender for sure. We don't pick that to the end, but
Yeah,
contender for sure.
yeah,
Um, Briscoe has became one of their heavy hitters right now. I know that they have a lot like in line and probably things that they got to do, but he's gonna need some gold soon now.
Yeah,
Um,
he's good at playing the face that you want to cheer for every time.
yes, he is,
And
and
he's becoming a big underdog. So when he does win, it's gonna be a bit huge pop. So I hope they give him a really decent title. Then.
yeah,
So
I believe so. I mean, I wouldn't even be mad if once the dust settles that they give him a heavyweight championship, like real opportunity to do something. I think the fans would get behind him. The match though, like I said, good. We knew the winner, but I had no problem. I'm not complaining anytime you want to give Briscoe um, a chance to show you what he could do in this type of match. So loved it. Nothing I could say bad about it. In the video package, I did notice it looked like it was a little bit of old mixed in with new. The video package
yeah,
definitely was put together right. And I mean, people are still gonna complain and swear they don't have video packages, but
yeah,
it was a good video package and a good match. Good match to go to lead up to what we're seeing too.
right. Yeah, no, for sure. And they just need to keep building on it because
Yeah,
I mean that match when it was announced moved like 2,000 plus tickets in like a
yeah,
day or two.
yeah,
So shit
for
was
sure.
awesome. So
Also,
they
like one of the
yeah
thing I liked about it is how they played into Kenny and Briscoe's history, how he dropped the promo challenging Okada before they
right.
got to this. Before it's like you gotta line up those roadblocks along the way, and
Mhm.
that's it was just done right with Briscoe. I like it.
Right. Yeah, I did too, man. Then you got another contender of the night, MJF versus Mystico. Man, MJF was definitely MJF in this matchup, man. Uh,
Yeah,
Pissing off the crowd, working with them good, and uh, f- enough he got attacked
yeah,
after the show. Man, if
really
you
attacked,
read that, yeah.
and didn't
Uh,
and didn't care. Said that
no,
he's
he
happy
said,
that his work's doing that good to make them attack him.
"Yeah, bro,
He's a
glad to
young
know I'm
dope
doing something."
man. He just gets life, bro. He just gets it.
What I liked, the crowd singing the Mystico theme song. That was really
Amazing.
cool, man. That was like
Amazing.
tear jerking too, man.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, yeah, MJF pretty much kind of playing the coward heel throughout the match,
Yeah.
escaping, and but they still put on some pretty good moves. Uh, MJF put on that tombstone, and then what MJF hit him in the low. He low blowed him, and that's what ended up getting him disqualified. And
Yeah.
then Hurt Syndicate comes in, beats up Mystico, and MJF rips off the mask, puts it on, and flips everybody off, and some Ultimate Hill stuff. Man, what'd you think
Ultimate.
about all that?
Um, First thing, shout out to Jose, the assistant, for I know that it wasn't his call, but for saying have Mystico come out with his old theme. Also throwing his old mask over the one he was gonna wear. Great touch. Um, the arena was going nuts. Perfect entrance. Uh, I gotta also say this, right? That it goes kind of without being said because I feel like at this point he might, and it awkward to say that MJF might be a little bit underrated at this point. But
Yeah.
he
Right.
could work with anybody, man. Like
Oh
he's
yeah.
like MJF is just so ahead of his time with certain things. And that's why his heel work is on another level. He's waving the American flag with
Yeah.
everything that's going on right now. It's
Yeah,
like,
that
oh,
was the part was
like
crazy to me.
and
Yeah.
this what I mean. So this match had the feel, the emotion. They left it better that nobody won because I don't know if you're
Could have
gonna
been a riot, man, if
yeah,
MJF actually won. Yeah.
yeah, but that's what I was gonna say. If you're gonna pick a winner there, Mystical has to win.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
for just for the sake of what's going on at that night where you're at and who Mystical is.
Yeah.
So to keep them both safe, um, I enjoyed it. I do like the fact that Speedball and Knight, even Teton, all of them came out after.
Yeah.
I would have obviously this is one of those spots where I feel like I would have loved to see Rush or someone somehow involved in this, but I'll leave that for another rant. But I enjoyed it. this is another match of the night contender.
Yeah.
I will say, and this ain't the first time Mystico's had his mask removed. I know it's probably not a
Right.
big deal. They wouldn't have did it in Mexico if it was that huge of a deal to them.
Yeah.
But I still just don't like it. I don't like the mask removals.
So, Mystico is the original Sin Cara, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, and that's
yeah,
why MJF called him that.
yeah.
Like,
And then they had the next Sin Cara that when they got rid of him, he put on the mask and tried to mimic him in WWE. It didn't work. And then I believe there was also another Sin Cara in Mexico that tried to copy him. But he's the original first Sin Cara that wrestled for WWE.
yeah, that's
And I found out today that they had La Catalina signed with him. Did you see that report?
Mm-mm. No, I
She
did
was
not.
signed with him when she was 18, right? You
Huh.
know who she is, right? That's been in Ring
Yeah.
of Honor, CML. All right, so she's
Yeah.
she's special. But I guess they signed her when she was 18. She, moved out here, and I think Sean Ross Sapp, shout out to him, posted the picture of them too. But they fired her through an email, and I guess she had like a month before her passport, or excuse me, her visa expired. They
Oh no.
fired her, so she had to sell all her stuff and find a way to get back home within like 30 days because they fired her at 18 after she came to the United States on whatever deal they gave her. But yeah, I just found that out recently too.
Was that through AEW? She was with AEW or WWE?
She was signed to WWE
Oh,
with Sin
WWE.
Cara,
Oh, hey,
the original.
should have figured. They do some shady shit sometimes.
Yeah, that's grimy to bring an 18-year-old though to the United States
Yeah.
on a visa and then not renew the visa and basically say, "Hey, thank you."
Deuces.
Yeah, figure it out.
Damn.
But I think it will all work out in her favor. She's probably not mad. She looks like she got a good trajectory to get where she wants to go.
So now you got the 4 million pesos match coming up.
Mhm.
Didn't have anything between those matches really. And this will play into my rating a little bit later. But 4 million pesos match 4-way Ricochet versus Hologram. Uh, Leo Rush and Mascara Dorada. Um, whatever Leo Rush was walking out with, I said to myself, "Is that dude wearing assless chaps on his head?" Like, I was for real, like, what the hell was he wearing, bro?
Nah, I don't know. I have no
Uh,
idea.
Overall, the match was pretty cool though. Of course, Hologram got the win. I think that makes his singles record 25-0. So, but the overall match was pretty fun. Bunch of cool spots in it. What'd you think about it, man?
Love the match. I think they leaned into the fact that because Ricochet said they got me tricked when he kept saying crew in that interview and
Yeah,
how they started working together in the beginning and inevitably fell apart. I think
yeah,
they leaned into the fact that a lot of people might have thought they might be a thing going forward. I like that dynamic. Um, the match was nuts. They high spots everywhere. The reverse Frankensteiner from Leo Rush, where he kind of bounced around and then ended up on Dorada's shoulders and reverse Frankenstein him.
hmm
That was a crazy spot. There was also the other thing, the standing double stomp from Ricochet to Mascara Dorada. That like just standing jump stomp in the middle of the ring was
yeah. That was
pretty
pretty cool.
nuts. Yeah. Um, I don't know if I would have went with Hologram winning if I booked it per se, but I mean another match of the night contender as we're watching.
Shit.
It definitely was a probably it definitely was one of the matches of the night and it was high paced throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. So moving on right after that, just on to another match. We had 3 matches just in a row, no in between segments or anything like that. But it was Mercedes versus Zeusius. Zeusius, is that how you say
Zuki,
it?
I think it's
Zeusius.
Zuki. Yeah,
Zeusius.
that's Vac's old tag team partner.
Okay, I think I remember that from Vakir doing AEW for a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, and of course, I never had a doubt of Mercedes winning. I kind of saw it. bunch of people are kind of upset about it, but I think a lot of people are being hypocritical because they're not mentioning Kenny Omega, the belt collector. That was his name. We called him that for some reason. And then you got Roman Reigns over there. He won a couple of different titles, I think. And I think some of these idiots online are just being too hateful towards her, which I'm starting to see that now, and I'm just like, okay, there's kind of like a almost agenda with you guys going on or something. Like Mercedes is literally the best women's wrestler right now.
They
And
want
you
to see
can,
her fail.
yeah, and you can compare her to the likes of Roman and Kenny right now. I think so. I
Yeah,
think
listen,
she's
look,
the
She
hottest wrestler today.
listen, bro, right?
Yeah.
Rev Pro wanted her to be the champion. Let's look at how this goes, right? Because nobody's begging a company to put a belt on Mercedes Moné. Let's like cut that out. So let's just look at it how in the real world. Rev Pro said they want to put their belt on her.
Yeah.
CMLL looked at it and was like, "Me too," right? New Japan, me too. AEW, they was a me too. You know why? She's one of the best in the world. Mexico, Japan, United States,
UK.
UK. It doesn't matter. The point is, her having your title is money. Whenever
Right.
you decide to take your title back, it's going to help whoever it goes to. It's also
Yeah.
putting eyes on titles right now that they typically would never see. Right? And that's more what it's about. You
Yeah.
know? Like some of these titles wrestling fans would have never even heard about if she didn't have it. But now they might Google your promotion or YouTube it because they want to see,
Yeah.
and this is what it's about. That's what it's about.
And Mercedes fans are going to go back and watch those title matches where she loses them or whatever,
Yes,
and
they
that's
are.
going to bring more eyes to your product.
And
So
hopefully they fall in love with some of your wrestlers.
exactly.
That'd be the end game,
So it's
But
like, yeah, I knew people were going to instantly complain about this after she won, because now they're like saying, "Oh, who is she benefiting from winning all this?" I mean, okay, at the same time, she hasn't had those matches yet to where she drops those titles to, because whoever she drops them to, that's going to benefit them.
and mind you, she just
Yeah.
dropped one. She just
Yeah,
dropped one.
yeah, she did just drop one.
Yeah,
She could have been 7 belts Money, but now
yeah.
she's 6. You know.
Hey,
So
listen, it is what it is, man.
yeah,
Eventually, they'll all start getting dropped off. The
but
match,
but
the
this
match.
right here, the nonsense right here, is actually making me more of a Mercedes fan now. I'm
Absolutely.
really starting to fall in love with her work. She's always been a great wrestler. She's just very talented. She's decent on the mic. She's
Yeah,
very good in the ring, and she just has that it factor that some of these main wrestlers, the stars, have. So
yeah.
and,
She's
you
she's
know, and
she's
then
elevated past a woman's wrestler to being just one of the best in the world. Like,
usually I really get behind people who have a lot of unwanted hate, and that I see it for myself. So
yeah,
so I'm cheering for her now.
yeah,
I'm still a huge Tony Storm fan, but I wouldn't be mad now if Mercedes did win that world championship. Just saying,
yeah.
I
I
wouldn't
think
be
it's
mad now.
Yeah,
So
I think it's time though too to stop saying who's the best woman and who's the best man, because I think that some of these ladies are elevating to just they're one of the best wrestlers in the world. Gender doesn't matter no more.
yeah,
Like
right,
she's she
exactly.
she
Yeah,
her there's some of these women have I mean Stephanie Vac is another one of those ones where it's like look at Tony, like look at these ladies and tell me if you should be saying they're the best women's wrestler in the world or if you just should be saying they're one of the best wrestlers in the world.
right.
You know?
Which Mercedes definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I, I mean, anybody debating her greatness, it's like
yeah,
I'm not. It's like when people beg for or pray for like a Floyd Mayweather to lose or something. I
yeah,
love greatness. I'm
yeah,
just here to enjoy the ride, get the popcorn. When
yeah.
it ends, it ends. You know,
Right.
like I ain't demanded for greatness to stop. That's just not something I do.
And Mayweather ended up with like the best record ever. But I remember his fights with like Canelo and Pacquiao. I
Yeah,
was rooting for Canelo and Pacquiao both times. Like,
Hey,
because I mean, that's just how it was towards the end of his little run. Is like you kind of wanted somebody to beat him.
yeah. And
Uh,
that's sometimes it just gets like that. It's like I'm in New England, right? And even out here, there's people that was sick of New England winning.
right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like sometimes you just win so much. It's like, just let somebody else win this time, you know. But just get the popcorn and enjoy it, man.
Right.
Eventually, nobody usually stays undefeated forever.
Right.
Mayweather's like the outlier to that. Maybe Rocky Marciano too, but um, there's not many people that would do it. So it's like, don't pray for the downfall. Just wait for it to happen and win
Yeah.
and bet money
Right.
on them in the meantime because they win more than they lose. You should
Oh
end
yeah.
up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
Well,
Exactly right. All right.
hold up. One other thing about that match before we go forward.
Yeah.
Um, Anybody smart should have knew Mercedes was gonna win that,
Oh
right?
yeah. Right.
Most people knew that and was
Yeah.
like, "Word, I could complain after," right?
That's how what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I did like the ending with the, and I don't know if this is maybe a little bit. You probably already. Do you know who Carmen San Diego is?
Who?
Carmen San Diego.
Common San Diego.
It was like a cartoon back in the days when I was in school, and it was like a board game too. But long
Huh.
story short, I believe that's what Tony Storm was dressed up as when she came out with the red hat and the
Oh
red
yeah.
jacket.
Okay. Yeah.
Super nostalgia, especially after that vignette that they
Yeah.
dropped of her.
That's like a real 40s style gangster too.
Yeah, and
Like a detective kind of actually.
that's
She was
the
playing a
vibe.
detective.
She's
Yeah.
a detective. That's the vibe. So I'm going from like the black and white screen to that. I'm just gonna say this: there's only one Tony Storm right now.
Oh yeah.
Not saying anybody's trying to be her right now, but let's just remember there's only one.
There's only gonna be one ever.
Yeah, there's only one. Um, and I also did love the fact that she German suplex Mercedes and
With all those belts. Yeah.
every belt flew.
Yeah.
That was that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
And I do want to say one other thing to why I believe how you said they kind of seemed like they just went match to match to match.
Hmm.
I think because of the crowd size, because where they was at, they wanted to just give them as much wrestling as they could. Because I
Mm.
think recently they've been doing less wrestling and more other stuff. Not less wrestling in total, but less than what they're usually doing.
Yeah,
And,
like
and
they've
more,
been more focused heavy, like story heavy focused than
yeah.
anything. So
But I think because where they was in Mexico, I think it was like let's give them a night, you know? Like it this ain't really about anybody else. This is about the 16,000 plus people that
yeah,
are in here right now to watch wrestling. So I think they kind of just that's why there was not just a 12 or 14 man tag, they also gave them the 10-man tag. They like, gave them a lot, But that would be my guess.
yeah, okay, yeah, I agree with that. Let's see here. Oh yeah, then the last thing was the 10-man tag match. Death Riders with Young Bucks versus shoot, I'm having a mind blank right now.
Right, I got it, few. So
Yeah,
we had the Death Riders, Young Bucks, and they substituted Beast Mortos. Shout
that's
out to
right.
Mortos and Mercedes. But
Yeah.
they added more, removed Claudio and got Mortos in the match. And there was a report that came out. I believe this might have been from SAP too, or Fightful in general. That Tony specifically asked CMLL to and the beef with Mortos, and I guess he hasn't been there for 12 years or something, 14 years.
Yeah, I saw that, and I had no idea what started that beef or anything. I was kind of curious about that.
Well, I could give you like what I know. There's
Yeah.
AAA, which is Conan, the company that Conan works for, which would be rival to CMLL in
Mm,
Mexico. They have beef.
mm,
So it's why Penta and them wasn't allowed on CMLL in the beginning, even though they kind of worked with Mystico after. But there
Mm.
was because they worked for AAA. Same
Oh,
thing with I believe Roosh and Mortos, but anybody that was in AAA during a certain time wasn't allowed to work with them. So
hmm.
I know that's part of the reason why Roosh and Dralistico wasn't on the show.
Oh,
Um, I mean, I would assume maybe he asked for all of them. Maybe there's like bigger reasons for everybody. Maybe some of them just went down in the ship and some of
mm,
them actually have problems. I don't know
right.
the full gist of it, but I know it trickles down from AAA and them having beef and just not being able to you remember when when CMLL first started working with AEW, there was rumors that Tony couldn't put
Certain people. Yeah,
Penta, Rush, or none of these guys on TV, or couldn't bring them to TV
yeah.
when
I remember that.
and it was over the AAA and the CMLL beef.
Mm. That makes sense now. Like, yeah,
Yeah, but I would I mean obviously I would assume they're working towards resolving all of it. But where they're right now, they're in bed with each other. You guys got to get over the beefs. Like
yeah.
you have to. Like if you're gonna be in Arena Mexico, you want to bring your best talent
People.
that represents that country. And Roosh is probably at the top of that
Yeah.
list.
Oh yeah.
Probably also the biggest star that could have walked through that door outside of maybe. And that's another thing. Like Bandito, I don't think has ever been a part of that problem. He's worked
Yeah.
CMLL with them before. Roosh did too, but that was prior. So I don't know. It's just that whatever the quarrel is, please guys get over it. We
Yeah.
need to see this some matchups we need to see.
Yeah. Forbidden Door's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Um. But anyway, the match was kind of, it was a big tag match at the end, and uh, the Hills won, and then Hangman comes out and stops somebody from being hurt real bad. I forgot which one it was. I don't know why I'm blanking out on the end of the show so much.
Let me pull it up. Remember they continued fighting after the brawl. Hold on.
Yeah, right. Um,
Hangman. Oh, Swerve was the one getting beat down in the ring. That's why you're
okay,
forgetting. It's
that's
because you're a Hangman fan. You forgot Swerve on purpose.
that's right.
All
Yeah,
right. I got you. I got you.
yeah.
Nah. All jokes aside, they was after the fight. They continued fighting after the match. They had Swerve in the ring. I looked at the people at my house and said, "Look, Hangman's coming out." Before I finished his music hit, he came out. Um, I don't remember exactly how it dispersed because I think they was all fighting, but he went to go for the buckshot. Mox ducked and he drilled Matt Jackson.
Oh, that's right. And the Young Bucks got mad after that. Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing and all that.
yeah.
But
Well,
you see where it's
after you get hit with that steam, you're probably not happy.
yeah. Don't know.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and rate the show. To me, I mean, I really enjoyed that they were in Mexico and these matches were pretty good. It's just as for like a standard Dynamite that we've seen this year compared to
Mhm.
it, it lacked a little bit of story build. But obvious reasons they wanted as much wrestling on a wrestling show as much in Mexico. I get that part of it.
Yeah.
So I originally was going to go with a 6 out of 10, but with knowing what I know now, I think I'm gonna get a 7.
Yeah,
So
I think I'll match you.
yeah,
I'll go around the 7. Um Actually make it interesting. I'll go 7.5 for the fact that Hangman spit a whole fluid
yeah, okay, yeah,
promo in Spanish. So I give it a 7.5. For the same type of reasons.
yeah,
It lacked a few. Well, they've been building, working very hard on stories and stuff and certain things, and this might have lacked a little bit of it. I do believe they left some of that story up to the ring, and if you watching enough, you've seen some of it play out.
yeah,
Like the Black Eye Will Ospreay came out with, and certain things they did try to like give you the story in the ring without promos, right?
right,
But um, and I do, like I told you, I think they wanted to give them as much wrestling as they could because I guess the thing that I would think about the most is you don't. This isn't. You're not going to be able to go there all the time. This isn't your typical Wednesday. So to throw away a couple promos and maybe vignettes to give them a little bit more wrestling because of the day to make the fans happy probably was the right direction to go. What would you say is your match of the night though?
Okada versus Mark Briscoe. It's my match of the night. It was the most completed match. It didn't end in like a disqualification or anything. Um, I like multi-man matches, but usually when there's a stipulation involved, uh, and I like regular tag team matches. I'm not too big on the multi-man tag matches, but I get why they do it. They gotta show
Yeah,
off some of their talent. But as far as the match goes, my match of the night was definitely Okada versus Briscoe. The one-on-one match, the best match of the night for me. And then it was just executed nicely. Like you said, you always want to go for the underdog, which is Mark Briscoe now, and I enjoy watching him. But I'm also a big Okada fan, as you could tell. So
yes,
uh,
sir.
it's a real good match. I liked it. So what about you?
Um, this might be the first time and only time I pick a match that ended in a DQ as my match of the night. I'm gonna go with MJF
Mystico.
and Mystico.
Cool.
That entrance was enough for me. He might have not even needed to wrestle, and I
Yeah.
probably would have gave him match of the night. I do believe that should have been the main event.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
No matter how you was ending it, win, lose, draw, tie, time limit, drop, whatever you planned on doing, I think that should have been the match of the night. I like the build they put into it, even though it wasn't a long build. I think AEW did a real good job showcasing Mystico for people that may
Didn't
not,
know. Yeah.
didn't know who he was just over the past month. Um, I know that this ain't the last time they'll see each other. I like the dynamics of playing into what's actually going on in the world in the TV show. How dangerous, no matter how dangerous it may be now,
Yeah.
I do like that. And I'm happy MJF wasn't physically hurt or he didn't physically hurt anyone.
Right.
I'm happy that he's in good spirits and could joke it off. This is why MJF's MJF. He works hard to piss you the f off,
Yeah.
and he's proud once he accomplishes that.
He's getting real heat.
Yeah. Hey, listen, he's one of the only people keeping kayfabe alive now.
Hell yeah,
So,
man. He's one of the
um,
very few.
yeah, so I'm not mad at him. Is there anything else specific in this show that you wanted to point out or anything?
Now, I pointed out at the beginning. What was the attendance number? 16,500.
I want to say 16,500.
That's
It was a sold out arena.
good. AEW does badass outside the U.S. Oh, they always do, and they always have. That's really good to see.
Yeah.
So that right there tells me there's a whole bunch of people probably watching on Max and shit. So, which, yeah, I mean, we got the
Yeah.
reports of that 500K weekly average. Uh, sure, they're not concrete numbers because it's not reported every week, but I mean, that's common sense right there. I mean, you got the whole world viewing AEW versus United States. I mean, you got to sit there and think there's more people watching outside of the U.S. right now.
I
So,
mean, I believe so. I think in that interview with Tony Khan, he said it. Max gave them the ability to open up a whole new market of fans.
mhm,
Like,
yeah,
so that's like, it's like people don't understand. It's like you don't understand someone could put something on, like, oh, let me check this out. It happens. Not only that, a lot of people, I know a lot of pirate streamers ended up on Max,
yeah,
which, you
right,
know, a lot of Jack Sparrows wasn't counting before. Now they are, they in there. That view
yeah.
counts now. But the part that kind of bothers me the most, and not even the combat numbers, it's like, bro, why does this bother people so much?
I,
Like, when did you stop watching TV shows to
yeah,
argue about ratings after? Like, I get it if like that's your job,
hmm
um and whatever, like if you're getting paid to do so, but it's like, bro, if I told you they had 2 million views on Max right now, regardless, if I said that, why does it bother you? Like, was the show good?
Yeah,
You know?
that's all that matters, man. But
Yeah, like, bro.
and people want hard, concrete evidence, and it's like you got Tony Khan backing it up, and then you got the report from BJ Bethel. What you can say what you want about him, but you got Sports Illustrated backing it up. I mean, and
Yeah.
there's still you still got those idiots that are like, oh, where's the actual charts and
I
graphs and
mean,
stuff? Like,
I
I'm
mean
like, come on,
the actual um I would say one of the most funniest things about it, and it's just you take this for what you will, right, bro?
yeah,
Um, a lot of these same people that, because remember, not every fan base is good, not every fan base is bad, right?
yeah,
But the same people that will argue with you that these numbers are not real, with no, actual proof or anything. Who cares why it's bothering them? Just won't acknowledge the numbers, right?
yeah,
A lot of them are the same people that got glorified bullshitted numbers told to them for the past 20 years and ate it up like big bowls of soup and never complained.
yeah,
And if
yeah,
you bring up lied numbers and lied attendance numbers and lied this and lied that, that conversation isn't to be had. But they'll argue about things they don't know, even though confirmed information has told them they've been lied to for years. They will
yeah,
still argue with you over that shit.
yeah.
And
It's
if
like it hurts their soul or something.
and it's weird. And that's why it's like, look at, one day I'm called a AEW defender, the next day I'm called the WWE defender. No, look at, I just speak common sense shit. That's it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like in AEW right now, I think is the top of the mountain when it comes to wrestling, hands down, landslide, not even close. Like if you want to watch Disney, that's cool. It's not
yeah,
really my thing. You know what I'm
right,
saying? But I entertain it, you know?
yeah. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But it is like kind of the same people weekly on my post when I post the viewerships. But I mainly just do that because I know it's gonna. I mean, I don't do it because I know it's gonna piss people off, but uh, just it kind of irritates the right people, I guess, in a way.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Hey, if you know you could poke people's buttons and have them pulling their hair out, I mean, it kind of tells you what type of people they are. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's like I ain't mad. I don't care how much I disagree with somebody's takes or what's going on. I'm not gonna bring up ratings in my opinions on why a show is good or not.
yeah.
Just, I mean, a lot of the
Well,
shows that bring in views is not really my cup of tea.
here's why I do it because ever since AEW's conception, WWE has always had larger viewing audience, and it was always the talking point to bash AEW. It always has been. So when I see something like the max numbers and then add them to the cable, and it, common sense too will tell you that obviously they're getting more viewership because of the max deal.
Yeah.
That's just common sense.
Oh
So
no, but see,
it's
people.
I see it kind of like a hey, I'm kind of doing a payback here, because all the shit y'all put us through, like
Yeah.
the mud show and all that, that they used to call AEW, and we're in the
Yeah.
mud. It's like
Trust me.
kind of it's kind of a love letter to the true AEW fans that
Yeah,
have
like
been around since the beginning and know what we've been through. So
I'll be honest. In the beginning, I had no intentions of ever defending anything to do with any of this shit, right?
yeah,
But then it's like I'm posting WWE stuff. I'm not really getting attacked. It's cordial.
yeah,
And every time I post something about AEW, it's like I could be talking about Thekla signs the AEW. How are those ratings looking?
yeah.
It's like,
What?
and then after like a while, I found myself defending it. But then and then I realized that why I'm defending it is because I have to, because I
Yeah,
can't post anything about it without hearing about ratings
without
or
being attacked,
attendance
bro. Yeah,
or this person's gonna be here. So it's like, bro, look it right. and you could try it out. Post some good stuff about WWE, bro. You ain't getting no engagement.
No.
Like people ain't really.
Yeah.
You might have a few, and I don't mean engagement, because you probably get a lot of good engagement, right?
Yeah,
But
dude.
as far as like the bad engagement, it's not the same. Like there might be a few people here and there that'll jump and attack you and you don't even see it, right? But when
Yeah.
it comes to the AEW post, man, listen, it's like someone presses a button and they swarm like killer bees. Bzzz, they
I
just
think
start
I,
coming out of nowhere.
I think I got haters on my on my notifications, like they got my notice on.
Of
Like
course.
like my haters, like every time I post, because it's some of the same people, like pages that I just haven't muted or nothing yet, and it's the
Yeah.
same people. Like says the most outlandish thing. I made like a positive post about Kenny Omega yesterday, and I had a couple of the same goons come over and be like, I was like, where would you rank Kenny Omega on your list of wrestlers? And I had some of the same usual haters quote that post and say, haha, top 500 or whatever. And I'm like, fuck off. It's,
Yeah, no, so I just seen somebody today say Mercedes Moné isn't in the top 20 best women wrestlers of all time. Even if you don't like her, you should acknowledge she's top five.
yeah, bro.
Just like,
You're
doesn't matter
just,
if you like her. You
yeah,
mean?
that, oh my God.
Huh?
Oh, yeah,
Some of
let's
these,
not even focus
some of
on that.
these people project things that they wish and want to happen to
Yeah.
reality. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, look at just because you think that. And the thing too is, and remember, I don't. You know how I try to avoid like the jabs. So
Yeah.
that's like MJF's thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But it's like, bro, in the 6 years that people been telling you AEW is gonna die and what
Yeah.
they're not doing and what they're not worth and how this, that, and the third is gonna happen. It looks like WWE might be sold twice in this time frame.
Yeah. I call that karma.
But the thing is this, right? And I'm not saying that by any means them selling it is them dying. Because I
No.
think anybody that
They're
buys that entity is in a very good position.
I hope they make it better.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
And I hope it never gets back to Vince's hands. So,
Okay.
um,
That's actually
yeah,
a possibility, ain't it?
yeah, especially if he gets the right like people around him, and I don't know how his relationships and stuff are, but it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
But I would say that unlikely, but possibility.
Mhm.
With that being said, it's like look at regardless if you're one of those people that think that it's like look at you know this company's dying and they'll never be nowhere near that other company, they're not paying attention because you throw that company around in a couple of hands and it ends up in a rich person's lap that don't really care about wrestling. You know what ends up happening, right?
Then you're gonna see it.
It doesn't mean that they'll ever go away because they'll probably just be resold, repackaged, and probably come back up after, right? But all I'm saying is, you start selling this company and it starts running around hands, that it just sounds like WCW all over again. Ted Turner loved WCW, right?
Mhm.
And that's why he kept it afloat, right?
Yeah.
Um, in the minute that he kind of went with AOL and there was conglomerations and it might have fell into a few people's hands that didn't per se really care about the business of wrestling, it got sold for $2 million when it was worth, just the library was worth probably 50 times that. You see
Jeez.
what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Instead of thinking AEW is dying,
Just focus on
let's
your own.
let's just hope that all wrestling stays healthy
Yeah.
going forward. That's
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Like it's that's it. I'm hoping that TNA and all these other companies level up. These other people are worrying about the number two promotion dying. Like,
Yeah.
geez,
That's,
ridiculous. But I'm ready to jump off whenever you are, bro. We
yeah.
also can go for another session if you want. It depends. How you feeling?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and end this one out and then just restart it. I guess a new recording.
All right,
So,
got you.
all right.
So I'll get it started up now.
All
Well,
right.
thank you for everybody that's gonna tune in. This is pre-record. You see our Twitter at symbols are down below. Also follow us on YouTube. Let them know where to find you, my brother.
Sir, find me on YouTube and X at Took Timbo. Just want to point out if you really like our channel and you'd like to help us grow here a little bit, we would appreciate maybe a donation or two. It could be any amount, but it would help out the channel a lot. There should be a donate QR code up here for if you would like to donate something for us. It would help us out tremendously. So, but
Sir,
I appreciate y'all very much, and we'll catch y'all on the next recap of Dynamite. So,
absolutely. And can't wait till next Wednesday, man. Everybody have a great day. And
yes,
happy Juneteenth to everybody as well.
happy Juneteenth.